receive us with wide open arms. Make us now brave people, open-hearted people, curious people, ready to act people, ready to speak out people, love-infused people. Call us out into relationship with all your blessed creation. We ask it in all things in your holy name, and in the name of the one who goes before us to guide us, in the name of Jesus, who taught us to pray together with one voice, saying, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Beloved, during this generosity season, we are privileged to hear reflections from several members and friends of Saugatuck Church. We are calling them signposts on the way. And this morning, I am delighted to welcome Joanne Lehman to offer her testimony. Come on.
After hearing Uncle Hendrik speak, all I have to do is say, all we need is love, and sit down. But I'm not going to, because I wrote something too. When I was growing up, my family rarely attended church. I was curious about God, but I didn't know that God was interested in me, leave alone speaking to me. When troubles came, as they always do, I grieved, I cried, I struggled. I found comfort and meaning in significant relationships, political activism, and the arts. Along the way, I even found Saugatuck Church. But something was missing. Then my husband, Carl, and I went to Italy. We looked at Giottos and Michelangelos and magnificent cathedrals. We saw a gazillion depictions of saints, of crucifixions, of baby Jesus with Mary on wall after wall after wall. Suddenly, I realized that God was using art to wake me up, to invite me, to a vital conversation. And miraculously, God had already provided a place, this meeting house, and a community, you, Saugatuck Church, to guide me in that conversation, a lifelong endeavor we call spiritual formation. I went to Bible study, joined a prayer group and the choir, attended retreats, worshiped at Taizé and Blue Christmas services, served on deacons, participated in healing prayer, as well as acting in hilarious and sometimes very serious skits at morning worship. I learned, and I am still learning, how to pray and write liturgy and how to live in God's presence. To top it all off, John Danner kindly used his gifts as a spiritual director that eased my pain and showed me a way through 3 long years of a terrible crisis. More recently, I have enjoyed working with the Arts Committee and embraced the opportunity to exhibit my own paintings in Hoskins Hall. I attend weekly centering prayer, Theology on Tap, and go monthly to hear Rob Bell's podcast, Jesus H. Christ. As Dana Johnson said not long ago, where else do we get to talk about all this stuff. This ongoing connection with our church keeps my spirit grounded and aware of God's presence. I am deeply grateful for this gift, for it is a great gift to walk this faith journey with you, most beloved Saugatuck Church. Today, I ask you to pass on this gift. As you consider your annual financial pledge, please think of all the adults, young and old, who are living and will live into their faith journeys here. Please imagine the children who are learning to pray, who need to know God through joy, through grief, and everything in between all their lives. Please help make a way for the children. Give them the tools and the grounding in God's love that I never experienced until I was in my late 40s. I want to leave you with a reflection I found on Facebook this week. Yes, God is even on Facebook. Carol Woodman, wonderful singer, shared these words by Christian poet Lindy Thompson, who speaks to us about one of the many ways we can know God. I might be exhausted and the children might be cranky, but I will go to church on Sunday. Don't know who's preaching, doesn't matter. The sermon may be helpful or not, holds my attention or doesn't. It's the singing. I go to sing. I get up, get clean, get dressed, possibly mad at not ready kids, at empty coffee pot, at traffic. Get going, get there, get seated, get comfortable, get focused. And when the music starts, get saved. It's the singing. I go to sing. It's the willingness to stand if you are able. The common agreement on page number, the voluntary sharing of songbooks with people on your row, even the ones you rode there with. But most of all, it's the collective in-breath before the first sound is made, the collective drawing upon the grace of God, the collective, if inadvertent, admission that we are all human, all fragile, all in need of the sustaining air freely dispersed, all in need of each other to get the key right and not sound discordant. It's the hidden life, celebration, in the act of making a joyful noise all together. We don't even have to sound that good. Singing together still brings home the we-ness of worship, the not aloneness of life in God, the best of all we have to offer each other. When we are singing, I think that I might be able actually to forgive you for being so terribly human, and you might be able to forgive me for being so terribly not there yet. And we might be able to find peace now, not postpone it for some heavenly hereafter, but live and breathe it today, drawing in the grace of God, voicing out our need and our hope and gratitude and longing. When we are singing, I can feel the better world coming, and if I get to be part of it, you do too. So sing with me, and we'll make our way down that blessed road together, collectively better than we ever thought possible.